Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
Welcome in, everybody. Got a friend with me tonight. Got Nancy. Well, you can't see her in the vertical shot, so if I move her over, you can see her in the vertical. But you got to really put her in here. Yeah, she ain't gonna be that close to me. Maybe if we sit her on this side. Hold on. Just gotta get Nancy kind of situated, I guess. No, she ain't gonna be in the other one. So she's only on the horizontal view if you want to see, Nancy, the cardboard version of her. Come over to the horizontal view. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Welcome back to Titanium Built. I'm your host, Tanya. Welcome in, everyone. If you are new here, this channel does go into deep dives. We cover true crime cases basically on this channel, up to dates. And, with the ongoing investigations that we cover a lot of different cases on this channel. There is a list on our community tab. If you'd like to take a look, you'll be able to see what cases that we do cover on this channel. So if you're into true crime and, all that kind of stuff, deep dives with the major cases that are going on, make sure you subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a member. We'd love to have you become a member of our channel. So, all right, everyone, let's get into what we've come in. Let's talk about the latest. We haven't talked about Nancy in a while, so I figured we would do a Nancy Guthrie stream with our girl, Nancy. So welcome in. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see you guys. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great day. I woke up at 5:40 to Vincent telling me that I didn't turn off my live from last night. And I was like, what? And what I did was I turned the music on for you guys. And as soon as I turned the music on, I looked at my watch and Vincent was calling. And so I was on another page. Like I wasn't on the StreamYard page. Like an idiot. And so I was on a different page and I was talking to him and I muted it so that way it wouldn't the music wouldn't be in our conversation. So I just got up and like turned the lights out and left. Like not even, and I turned back around and I noticed my iPad looked like it was still going, but I was like, oh, it's probably just from like earlier in the live, it must be catching up. And I noticed I didn't turn my camera off and I was like, oh, I'm just so tired. Like I'll just get it later. I guess I didn't even shut the door, which is fine because I mean, we have a beautiful home, but that's what I told Vincent. I was like, well, at least we have a really nice place. They got to look at it for 8 hours. He said 7 people were in here when he came in to shut the live down. I was like, that's so funny. He's like, what if I would have went to the bathroom in my underwear? Because we have a bathroom like right behind this door, like and the door was open. I was like, that would have been hilarious. Hilarious. So that's why I had an 8-hour live last night. I did trim it back down. Yeah, she did earlier, Scotty. She scared the crap out of me when I was curling my hair earlier. I forgot she was sitting there. She used to scare the dog. The dog's right passed out right now. She's doing good. But yeah, the other dog don't care. But the Weimaraner, she used to scare the Weimaraner. Like the Weimaraner wouldn't even come. Like whenever we were in the other room, she wouldn't even go in the other room when Nancy was up because she was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not having any of that. She scared you. You're like, who is there? Who is with her? I got my Nancy. She's my cardboard cutout. Her little arm is starting to get messed up, but that's okay. If we have to get a new one, we'll have to get a new one. We got this just to give you a little background on our Nancy. We used to cover Nancy a lot. Like when I was covering Murdoch trial, especially, like she was there. And so we would listen to her during like lunch and then she would come on at night and she would just give us like a recap. And then we would go in and talk about what we saw, during the day because we was watching the trial also. And that's why we got her. I think that's when we got her anyway. And then she did Idaho before, she crashed that party real quick. She's like, I'm here with her table and everything. So yeah, she's something else. I grew up like listening to Nancy Grace. So my parents used to listen to her. My mom didn't like her at first, and then but my dad loved her. He loved her like snazziness. So she did put out a new podcast, but it hasn't come out on YouTube. So I thought we would listen to it. And I have some pictures and overlays I can put up for everybody. But before we do that, I figured I would read you guys like the latest for yesterday's updates, just to kind of get us caught up. And then we'll go over to Brian Enton, see what he's kind of been doing. And then we'll listen to the podcast. And then if we have time, we'll listen to some more stuff. Also, I do want to do a live. I guess there's Michael McKee's lawsuit for his malpractice is going on, and I have some documents that I want to go through with you guys with that too. So we'll do that. Welcome on in, everybody. Hey Higgins, did you text me back? Even Ashley wrote me, was like, your live's still on. I didn't even notice you wrote me because I always have my phone turned on nothing, like silent. I need to stop doing that. But then I have my business hooked up to my phone. It's so stupid. Don't ever do that. Get another phone. Get another phone. They'll be calling you with giving you $1 million. I'll give you $1 million. No, you won't. So it is day 35 actually. Now, am I right? Yeah, day 35. This is insanity that it's been 35 days and we're still, I know, the taught mom, yep. And we're still trying to figure out where the heck she's at. She's an 84-year-old woman. I mean, how far can she be? I mean, who took her? They could take her pretty far, but who would do that? They are, Scotty. They really are. And they're because they're like life size. We used to put a scarf and everything on her. I should have dressed her up. So this is just this came out yesterday, so I figured we'd go through it. I thought it was a pretty good article. And it has a little bit of the different updates. What is today? Friday? Okay. Is this going to go back to Thursday? I'm just going to go down because I think it did that. That's okay if it does. If we go backwards, that's okay. So Friday, latest updates. It says a couple of nuggets from Morgan Wright, an expert on the issue. A jammer doesn't turn off your Wi-Fi because that's what they've been talking about. So before we get into this, I'll give you a brief recap, not crap. So Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old. If you guys don't know, it's going to be a very brief update for you guys, but disappeared from her home in the Catalina foothills near Tucson, Arizona. And that was on the night of January 31st, 2026. So she is the mother, I'm sorry, of NBC News anchor Savannah Guthrie, which is one of the reasons why this case has drawn such big, national attention and international now attention. Authorities quickly determined that Nancy did not leave voluntarily. Investigators found blood on the front porch, signs of a struggle, surveillance footage showing a masked person at the door. They took the cameras with them. Law enforcement believes that she was taken from her home against her will, and the case has been treated as a possible kidnapping from the very beginning. So the new developments that kind of have come out was the DNA from the glove was ruled out. One of the newest developments was that, or updates, involves the forensic testing of the gloves discovered near the home. Investigators previously recovered multiple gloves, I believe like 14 to 16 gloves surrounding the neighborhood, and they were testing them all for DNA. Recently, police confirmed that the DNA found on one of the gloves belongs to a restaurant worker in the area, and that person is not connected to this case, like, apparently. I don't know if they detained them for 4 to 6 hours like they did all the other people, but they, I guess it was just somebody that works at a restaurant and disposed of their gloves outside. They should all get freaking littering tickets. But it really highlights the challenges that investigators are facing right now, because the fact that they're testing 16 gloves and they're trying to trace who they belong to, that's a job in itself. They are receiving thousands of tips, but many leads, none of the leads have led to any suspects yet. So now we have possible internet camera disruption going on here. And it's been kind of talked about over the last few days, but a major development has been they're looking into a possible internet outage the night that Nancy disappeared. I guess neighbors are reporting that their home security cameras and ring systems stopped working around the time of the incident. The only thing with that is we're 35 days into the investigation, and we're just now getting this information. Like, did the officers already know this and they're just like letting us know, or are they just now getting this figured out? Because I mean, that should have been figured out day one, I feel like, Is it Boo? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ash. I'm praying for you. And Boo. So if this is true about the signal jammer, and I heard earlier, I was listening somewhere. They were saying, an expert was saying that you can get them online, but they're like illegal in the US. So I'm thinking maybe this could be like international, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how you get a signal jammer maybe into the United States. I don't think it'd be hard to smuggle in one, though. I don't think it'd be that hard. But with all that, so that means that the suspect planned the crime, which we know that. They have some technical knowledge, which I guess if you have a signal jammer, you'll have a little bit of technical knowledge, but him at the doorbell camera, he had nothing. He had nothing there. But this abduction has especially been, very deliberate. We should do a bingo card. We should do a bingo card for Caleb Flink case. Every time it says, "Oh my God," you get a whole bingo, the whole thing. So investigators are reviewing the neighborhood footage. I don't know why, they want footage from a 2-mile radius within Nancy's home. Basically, newly reviewed video showed multiple vehicles moving through the neighborhood around the time she disappeared, but we all have heard from officers and investigators that none of those cars were of any importance. Now, I don't know what happened with the Ransom. What happened with the Ransom? What's going on with him? Did he just peace out, Ransom guy? Did he get scared? Did he even have Nancy? I mean, those are my questions. That's all I really have, I guess, for him. Was the ransom real? Do you still have Nancy? I feel like we haven't heard. I wonder when the last time TMZ got a note. Yeah, exactly. It was either real and something happened and they either Nancy, something happened with Nancy and they, they disposed of her and they got scared and they were like, F her ransom, or, like we got to get rid of, like, what if something happened to her and she died and they freaked out and they're trying to figure out something to do with her. Or they're still just, or it was never real to begin with. And then I have no clue where she could be. But wherever she's at, she's been without her medicine for 35 days. And Pima County Sheriff said she can't be without her medicine for more than 24 hours. It was such an urgency. I remember him saying that the first time, the first like press conference, 24 hours. We got to get her back. They did, Scotty. I was just thinking that too. Yeah, they did ask to not say anything, but they might still say something because it's TMZ, but yeah, so what they have received, that's true. I hope they have received more. I hope they find out who did this, whether this person has her or has her or not. I mean, I think that, and they need to be punished. Like, I mean, worse than the other guy. The other guy was bad, but, and they use the same program to like hide their emails and stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a generic, program that a lot of people use. But the family did put up a $1 million reward. Like they wanted $67,000. Okay. First it was $67,000 by Thursday. Then it was by Monday. Then it was like the following week or whatever. And then I think it went up they went up whenever the reward went up. They wanted as much as the reward, like the 100,000 when it was 100,000. But then that's all we heard. But then the family comes out like right after that. I feel like it was like the same day the note came out. Like they were like right after that. They were like $1 million. We want our mother. We want to celebrate her, was her words. Whether it's a celebration that she's here or a celebration of life, they wanted to be able to do that for their, for their mother. And I can understand that. I mean, I can totally understand that. I got to do that for my own. So, but there are some search groups outside of the U.S. that are now involved. There's one Mexican search organization known for finding missing persons along the cartel routes, and they have begun looking for into a possible tip that Nancy may have been moved across the border. So they're doing that. I think it's a ladies group maybe. But the public attention and the true crime community has really taken on this case. It's massive attention. I mean, massive. Influencers, live streamers have been kind of gathering, like outside of her house. Some of them have been very respectful, and stay on their side and stay where they are told, and do what they're told. And then you've got the other ones, the other people that are just like, nuts. Yeah. And and I know at first, like they always tell like the families not to do like a reward or something like that. I don't know why they do that. Hey, yes, if anyone sees Jessica in the chat, let me know, because she lives, I was wondering about her earlier. She lives in Michigan. It was nothing like that here. So it just says on here, this is Michael Ruse. I think I follow him. It says a jammer doesn't just turn off your Wi-Fi and interferes with it, potentially causing glitching and lag until it's close enough to wash out the source. As you get closer with the jammer, the signal starts to, I guess I have to go to his Twitter. The signal starts getting interfered with the closer you get to the source of the signal, which is the emanation, which is the router and the Wi-Fi access point. Then you get a total blackout. What if you have a wireless access point, though? And if a jammer was used, it doesn't appear to have impacted Nancy's Nest doorbell camera. That's true. Or her pacemaker. And now that's probably just like Bluetooth, though. If they're using Wi-Fi jammers, then I would expect that we would not be able to see any video from the front door cameras. That's true. I would say that's true. Yeah. That's pretty smart. Catherine, I know. Someone did. On me. Yeah, Scotty. I mean, no, I think the true crime community can do really good things. I really do. Or I wouldn't be in it. You know, I mean, I really do. I think that, especially, I was telling Vincent earlier, I like doing these Ohio cases that I've been doing covering because I feel like I can actually impact the actual case, like in a good way, not in, not in a crazy bad way, but like, I can go and route out, map out a route that I think maybe Madison Fields was taken on, and I can go put out flyers, or, I can go to the homes that, things have happened, like, horrific murder, like a murder or whatever happened there. I can show you guys more of like, the area and stuff. I just feel like I'm a visual person. I feel like it helps. So, hey, Mr. Pizza Truck, welcome in. And welcome in, everybody. Hey, CJK. So, if you guys don't mind, I forgot to ask you in the beginning of the live, will you hit the like button for me? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, or we're going to get Ladybug on you again. So this says, good morning from Tucson. It's now been over a month since authorities have given a news briefing on the suspected abduction of Nancy Guthrie. Task force agents returned to her neighborhood yesterday, conducting a new sweep. I don't have to go into that. So it just says, on Thursday, law enforcement reportedly went door to door in Nancy's neighborhood. Also on Thursday, Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show set for the first time since her mother disappeared. I didn't watch it. Did anyone watch it? Her new segment, was it like sad? Was it she happy? You know what I mean? Was she trying to be like upbeat? Like, was it her? I hope she's okay. Like, it's just sad. I know that the people at the Today Show love her, and like I feel like that would be like, good. Thanks, Laura. I try. So tonight we're covering actually Nancy Guthrie with Nancy Grace, our cardboard cutout. Maybe Kentucky Lucky. Wish Vincent was here. I don't know if he knows about jammers, but he knows about like cameras. Man. Okay, so it says that in a statement to Fox News Digital, a Today Show spokesperson said Savannah plans on eventually returning to the show. So everyone that says that she was fired and like blah, blah, I heard people say she was fired. I'm like, no one would fire her for taking time off to find her mother. Like, they may say like, I don't know. The worst thing that I think that they would say, and why not just get a temporary replacement? But I could see them saying, okay, it's been so long, like we've got to, get a replacement in here full time. But that after 35 days, no. So on Wednesday, the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed the DNA found on the glove just over 2 miles from Nancy's home was traced back to a restaurant employee. I wonder if JLR figured out the restaurant employee yet, who it was. Other gloves that have been found are still being tested at a private lab in Florida. Okay, they need to get on the ball, because with Brian Kohberger case, they flew from Pennsylvania, that trash, over to Idaho. They tested it. Then they like went and they got him like within like 24 hours, 48 hours. So why are we taking so long with the DNA? Like, is it just not in CODIS? Is it not in the system? His wasn't either. We needed some genetic genealogy going on. I don't know. That would be a lot of money, though, for 14 to 16 gloves to do IgG on all of them. That would be expensive. On Tuesday, it was reported that a vehicle belonging to Annie, the daughter of Nancy and sister of Savannah Guthrie, was returned to the family. She got her car back. And then, I don't know what these people are doing. They had a metal detector and stuff. They were just... Does anybody know what they were doing? Like, who the hell has a metal detector and a poker thing? Nate, look at you being a member for 6 months. Thank you. Your arm changed too. Your little titanium arm. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Pizza. Today show. Savannah Guthrie. You haven't heard? Oh, it's huge. It's been a big case. This is day 35. They found blood outside of her house. I was listening to our guy, Joseph Scott Morgan earlier. I agree with what he said. That's what I thought. Like, it was like she either coughed or, sneezed or something. That's the way the blood droplets look. Doesn't look like it's from just like a weapon or something. It's just really sad. Would they? Would a metal detector pacemaker? Because it doesn't detect mine. I walked through the other day. I felt so good it didn't go off. It always goes off usually with me because I have a belt or something on. These are the people with the metal detector and the pole, the rod. It says no trespassing right here. You see the sign? What are they doing? What? I know that Brian has all this on his probably. Oh, this is whenever they go and lay flowers. I saw this. This was sad. Tommaso is like literally holding them up. Like now, I do have a question. Isn't Savannah Guthrie married? Like she's married with kids, right? Where's her husband then? Like, I mean, I would think he would go there with her maybe to see the memorial. We can watch it. You just kind of, I don't think it has volume. So we just turn it down. But yeah, it's really sad. Must have been them in the drone. Those are not roses, guys. Remember that when it first came out, they were like yellow roses, like the HOA. I was like, dang, they look expensive flowers. I think they look beautiful. Very vibrant. I hope she gets to come home and see this. Like, see the flowers and stuff. Like, look at him. He's like holding them up. Like, I feel so bad for that family. Oh, I think she's looking at the names or something on them. The different names. See, I would want those names. I would be like, okay, yeah. When these start to like die, make sure I get the ribbon with the name or whatever it was on there. Is that her husband right there? No, I don't think so. That's just cop. I don't know. I feel bad for that family. I don't think Tommaso had anything to do with it or Annie. Yeah, you didn't hear about that? Yeah, I remember when they came out with a statement or something, and it was like you guys, they wanted to do a memorial, and they said yellow ribbon, and they said yellow roses. And I remember them saying roses, and I was like, dang, you can't even do like a carnation or something. Like, what if you don't have money for roses and you want to take something? But I noticed people were taking like sunflowers and stuff, and then I think they just, they didn't say anything. I mean, what are you really going to say something when you're, this is like like look how pretty they all look. Look at the sunflowers, are so pretty. Man, they don't look like that at my local grocery. Beautiful. And then we got him, which I mean, I wish we could just identify this guy and then we could probably find Nancy. But a lot of people said that it looked like when he walked up to the door, that maybe he was looking at somebody like through the glass windows. Maybe I think he was going to knock before he saw the actual nest, because you see him do this or like this or something, like he's going to knock, and then he moves his hand over, and that's when he like covers the nest, the camera instead, like he notices the camera. And I guess this is the video footage that they want. They want it like, why not this way? Like, why are we going all in one? You know what I mean? Like the circle isn't perfectly around her house. I'm kind of wondering why. How did the perp change the Wi-Fi? I don't know, Joey. Unless he had a Wi-Fi, like some sort of jammer. But you had to be like right on top of the Wi-Fi to jam it, I guess. Like the way it sounds, it wasn't like you could just like walk in like a building and get everybody at once. But that's how I was taking it. Let me see. And it didn't, and then it didn't impact the cameras, right? At least the one in the front. We don't know about the one in the back, but we're assuming. And they didn't know that, I guess, that there was going to be like there was going to be actual video saved. Do you know what I mean? Like, because your camera, even if you don't have like the package or whatever that comes with it, even if you don't pay like the monthly subscription, you still get like alerts anytime someone like comes near your door. And it'll record for a while. Like, I think you can even open the app and keep recording. But if you don't hit it, like if you don't open the app and keep recording it, maybe it only records like the first 15, 30 seconds. I don't know. We have one, but Vincent has the app. I don't have the app. I need it. I thought I saw that, Joey. Yeah. Was she just some crazy lady? Another one? We've had so many people that are out of their mind. This is sad. They all look like they lost some weight. They probably have. This says here, March 3rd, the Pima County Sheriff did an interview with NBC and says, I think the investigators are definitely closer to finding Nancy Guthrie's suspect. Says new video of car 2.5 miles away has not been identified, and they are looking at hundreds of thousands of other vehicles. Says backpack may not have been purchased at Walmart. Could have been purchased secondhand. Are you friggin' kidding me? That was a brand new backpack. That guy had on that backpack was new. I don't believe that was in a new backpack. I'm trying to see if I can, well, I can't really tell from this, but it looks new to me. Like the straps look shiny. I don't know. It doesn't look like, I think he bought the whole outfit and everything at one shot. That's just my guess. Well, I guess these are only available through Walmart. These specific backpacks. Well, JLR better get on what's it called, eBay or something, because he bought one. Like, okay, he did. He bought himself a backpack. Like it. Okay, so Brian Enton, this is so crazy. So, because he said something else that was really crazy the other day too. It says we have information on this case that we think is going to lead us to solving this case, but it takes time. What did he say the other day? I can look on my Twitter. Me and Lauren Conlon were talking about it. I was like, did he just say what I think he did? Like he said something about like, now's the time to get to work. And I'm like, what? What do you mean now's the time to get to work? You should have been getting to work. I wonder if I'll find it. I'll put it I'll look on my profile if not. Latest developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie. There was just some developments at the house. A group went inside and private searchers outside are using a metal detector. Okay, if you're a private searcher, are you allowed to be like right there where it says no trespassing? And why are they using a metal detector right there? What's that going to do? What are they looking to find? Okay, listen to Brian. Why? Oh, sorry, Brian. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Brian. Oh, wait. I wasn't even sharing with you. Okay. Okay. Anyways, we're going to listen to this again. These people with the metal detector. Listen to what they're looking for. Bracelets and jewelry. I interrupted Brian. He's mad at me now. I'm sorry, Brian.
Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some action today. First of all, there were some people that showed up that seemed like they were maybe doing some work on the house, locksmiths. They were by the front door of the house. They were then at the back of the house. There's also these private searchers that have shown up with metal detectors going up and down the street outside Nancy's house. They said they were maybe looking for jewelry or a bracelet. So kind of interesting. They're still out here right now. The sheriff gave NBC News an interview. We've been asking for an interview, but he hasn't responded. But he did give NBC News an interview, said that he does not think it's a cold case, that he thinks they'll solve it. A lot of stuff he said previously. He said they're looking at hundreds of thousands of cars, which is kind of interesting when he was asked specifically about that new video from 2.5 miles away that came out last week. He said we're looking at that plus hundreds of thousands of other cars, which
Hundreds
is a
of
really big number.
thousands.
And with the backpack, remember the backpack that they said was bought at Walmart? He's now saying that they're considering that it may, the suspect may have gotten it secondhand. So maybe he didn't actually buy it at Walmart, but bought it secondhand after someone else already bought it at Walmart. So that was kind of the update from his interview. I'll keep you guys posted with anything else.
That's insanity to me. You know, like, this is day 35. Hey, Tinny. It's like crazy to me. It was traced back to a restaurant employee. We saw that. And there's some FBI agents coming out. Oh, look, she even has her hat on. She's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you who I am. Don't talk to me. So now they're talking to several different neighbors. What the hell have they been doing for 35 days? Talking to each other? Who have they been talking to for 35 days? Seriously, you should be in. They should have been flooded the neighborhood. As much press was there should have been that much more of a police presence going to every door. Give me your cameras. What you got? Can I see them, please? You know, a please and a thank you, maybe. It's crazy to me. What have we been doing? So now they're looking at a possible internet outage. Like, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. So one neighbor tells me his Ring camera history is mysteriously not available the night Nancy disappeared. March 6th, we're finding that out. I don't know. Just weird to me. Just weird that we're just now these are just now, he just now checked his Ring camera. I don't know. I'm sorry, but if I lived in the neighborhood of Nancy Guthrie, even if I lived like 3 miles away, I'd be checking all my cameras. See if I saw anything the day that I found out she was missing, not 35 days, 34 days later, right? It's 34 days later and they're doing this. I think it's for clout. I don't know what it's for, but it's not, I don't know. It doesn't seem genuine when you do it that much longer. Like 34 days later, I don't know. Maybe they deleted it because they didn't want nobody to see. Maybe they were doing something bad on there. So this says, correction, the structure I zoomed in on is not Nancy's house. We put the drone up to confirm it's one of the neighbor's houses, but her house is in that direction. Oh, okay. He was trying to get like where the camera was to her house, but this is the neighbor's. So he kind of messed up there, but that's okay. That's okay, Brian. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you. She's not put this on her YouTube. Let me check one more time. I've been checking all night. Nope. One day ago, Nancy did Savannah Guthrie's mom missing day 34. So this is day 35. I got to go back because I'm still on day 34. I was listening to this earlier. Oh, well, maybe. Why didn't it just pull up when I put Nancy G? Usually that pops it right up. Okay. So this is day 35. It says investigators are poring over clues, seeking any overlooked information as the search for Nancy Guthrie continues. The neighborhood has seen officers going door to door again, even as DNA is still being processed. Savannah Guthrie has returned to New York to her husband and children, even making an appearance at her workplace. I forgot she didn't live in that area. So that's why he's not there. A joint task force has been established in Tucson. No one is giving up on finding Nancy. Yeah, last time I heard they had like 4 people working on the case, though. Now all of a sudden there's a bunch of people out there going door to door. Remember, Sheriff Guthrie's like, we're going to pull back our people. Guthrie, you're weird. I do have some pictures that I can overlay. So, and then I'll probably get like, interrupted here and there for commentary, but you ready to go, Nancy? Okay. She says she's ready. Oh, I have to go through the commercials. Let me turn the volume down so it doesn't break your eardrums too. Because you know she'd be loud sometimes.
This is an iHeart podcast.
For the season ahead.
What's he got?
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile.
Stress-free way to buy
Too
your
many commercials.
My mom was taken
Of tips. Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, missing day 33. How is this possible in this day and age with tens of thousands of tips, video? Why is she still missing? Where is Nancy Guthrie? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every long night has been agony since then.
Whoever knows about Nancy Guthrie's whereabouts that sees that and does not act must have a heart of stone.
Please be the light in the dark.
Joining us now is a special guest, Pat Byrne, and I want to introduce you to Pat. He is a sleep expert and the founder of the Byrne Fatigue Consulting Group. He is the author of Inconvenient Sleep, Why Teams Win and Lose on Amazon, and he has analyzed the Nancy Guthrie case from his point of view. Mr. Byrne, thank you for being with us. I'd like to just start off with a general question as to your analysis of the Nancy Guthrie kidnap.
Was very interesting. So here's an elderly woman who's apparently asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and was taken by some intruder. And so what I started to think about was what's going on in her brain? What sleep stage was she at? And how did that affect her emotions and her thought process once she woke up? So our human brains do not go from fully asleep to fully awake, right? There's this process, and it's called sleep inertia. There's this process of waking up, and that depends partly on how you're woken up and what sleep stage you're at. So at 2 a.m., she was probably either in a very deep sleep or in what's called REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, which is where we dream. And the interesting thing about that is if she was in a deep sleep, then she would be incredibly confused. She wouldn't know where she was. She wouldn't know what time it was. She wouldn't know who she was with. This confusion would go on for at least 2 to 3 minutes or longer. And interesting thing is she also has a pacemaker, I understand. So she has a heart condition. And elderly people with heart conditions who are woken up suddenly from a deep sleep are very high risk of a heart attack. So that concerned me immediately. And the other aspect too is if she was in REM sleep, she was dreaming. When we dream, our bodies freeze. And so you can't move. So if he walked into the room and she was dreaming a dead sleep, he could just pick her up. She couldn't even move. And then she would get into she'd get into a panic mode and get, very confused. She wouldn't be able to.
Okay, I'm gonna stop him right there. Just because you're in a REM sleep, you're in a deep, deep sleep, doesn't mean that somebody can just pick you up while you're asleep and you're not going to wake up right away. If someone touches me when I'm asleep, I'm waking up swinging. Me and the dog, my Weimaraner, we're about to have it out because at night she likes to kick me. She has like a leg that just has no control and it kicks me every night. I'm going to take that back 15 seconds. Did he really say that? You can just pick them right up.
From a deep sleep are very high risk of a heart attack. So that concerned me immediately. And the other aspect too is if she was in REM sleep, she was dreaming. When we dream, our bodies freeze. And so you can't move. So if he walked into the room and she was dreaming a dead sleep, he could just pick her up. She couldn't even move.
What?
And then she would get into she'd get into a panic mode and get, very confused. She wouldn't be able to even say anything or be able to fight back.
Oh gosh, Pat. So much of what you're saying is
Not true.
so upsetting, but I know you're the expert and these are the facts. But I've got to figure out.
Okay, no, the facts are it depends on the intensity of the movement and your personal sleep depth. During REM sleep, your brain is very active, but your body experiences temporary muscle paralysis. That's why, he thinks that you could pick him up, which prevents you from acting out dreams. So if you're walking down the road, you're not like swinging your arms in your bed, or swinging your legs like you would be walking. That's, the REM part. But yeah, I mean, if someone picks me up, I am 40 years old. If someone picks me up, I'm going to wake right up.
What, if anything, is probative? What can I deduce? What can I learn? What can I prove from what you're saying? Well, for one thing, you stated for multiple reasons that she would be at a high risk of a heart attack. Could you revisit that and explain your thinking?
Well, the research just shows that elderly people who, even without heart conditions, are at a high risk of heart attack and being violently and woken up from a deep sleep. So that's what the scientific research shows, right? And so you add on the fact that she has a pacemaker, which means she has a heart condition, makes it worse.
You know what's an interesting point about what you just made? With me, it was instinctive ever since the twins were born that I, even to this day, and they're 18, I wake them up gently. I don't.
My mom did that too.
Fly open the door and yell, "Wake up!" or anything like that. And especially with my mom who lives with us, she's 94. It's, again, instinctive not to shout someone awake or scare them awake. But you're saying that when someone is abruptly woken in their sleep, especially an elderly person, it increases the risk of a heart attack. And we know she's a heart patient. She's got a pacemaker, among other things.
Absolutely, yeah. And particularly if she was woken up in a very light sleep, when she's just starting to fall asleep, that might be different. But at 2 a.m., she's going to be in a deep sleep.
You mentioned a term called sleep inertia. What's that?
So that's that foggy brain feeling you get when you wake up in the mornings, right? And it's that period of time between being fully asleep and fully awake. And so your reaction time is slower, your thinking isn't very clear. And so it often takes anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour to get your foggy brain back cleared up so you can actually function during the day. And even people like firefighters who may be sleeping in the fire hall and then the alarm goes off and they have to jump up and get in the vehicle and drive, they need to wait a bit to get their brains cleared before they get in the vehicle to drive. So that's common across for everybody. Sleep inertia is just normal.
What's another question? Pat Byrne is joining us, everyone. Sleep expert, founder of the Byrne, BYRNE Fatigue Consulting Group, author of Inconvenient Sleep, Why Teams Win and Lose on Amazon. Pat, for instance, every morning when I wake up at 5 a.m., I jump up and take off, like a bat out of hell, thinking, I've got to feed my mom. I've got to get the children's breakfast ready. I've got to do this. It's a whole set of chores before my day even really starts. And sometimes I'm halfway to the kitchen before I really am awake. And I have to stand there thinking, okay, what do I need to do right now? What am I doing first? What is that? Is that the sleep fog you're talking about?
That's sleep inertia. Yeah, absolutely.
Huh. Well, I'm certainly not inert. I shoot out like a bullet. How would this affect what happened to Nancy?
Okay, let me back up a little bit, because when you get up at 5 a.m., the chance...
I just want to say one thing. They were in that house for 40 minutes. Okay? She was definitely awake. All the way awake, in my opinion. After being in someone's home for 40 minutes, I mean, maybe they hid for the first 30, 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know. I think that something would happen if you didn't know the layout of the house and know where things were, like her little plants or whatever she has. You'd probably knock something over if you were walking in and there was no lights on, because there's no lights outside that shimmer, that shine in to kind of give you light. So I don't know. I don't know if the sleep thing is really that and like void, you know what I mean, or whatever, because of the fact that they were in there for so long. Like, what the hell were they doing in there for 40 minutes?
Are you're probably waking up from a light sleep, not
They didn't
a
take
deep sleep.
anything other than her.
And so the sleep inertia is less pronounced when you wake up from a light sleep than you do from a deep sleep. And so in terms of the Nancy Guthrie situation, is that she was most likely in a deep sleep at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm pretty confident that she was at a fairly high risk for a heart attack.
Oh gosh, the reason I'm thinking through everything
I would
you're
have a heart
saying so
attack, and I have
carefully
okay heart.
is because I wonder what happened at her doorstep, Pat. Was she stumbling because of sleep inertia and fall? And then we see those, what clearly to me are low velocity blood drops. It's not high velocity from a gunshot wound. It's not throwback from a blow and then you bring back the weapon and you get cast off. It's none of those. It looks as if she's standing there out of it and blood drops. And I'm saying from her nose because it looks so much like the blood drops in the Travis Alexander murder. He was murdered by Jodi Arias and he saw himself dying. He went and stood at his mirror in his bathroom and the blood drops from his nose were right there on the counter. And they had a very similar blood pattern. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if Nancy was completely out of it because of sleep inertia. Was she in the throes of a heart attack? And she stood there dropping blood. How does that query jive with your theory?
I don't think so.
Right. So
if you're having a heart attack, I would think that you would, I don't know. I feel like the blood would be different, wouldn't it? They come out of your body differently. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we need to look it up. Like compared to if you're just sitting there and you're bleeding, because your heart is probably like overworking, right? Because you're having a heart attack. I don't know. That's sad that I'm 40 and I have no idea. I don't want anything bad to happen to my heart. So I live in the universe that, just don't look at it because it scares the crap out of me. But I will. I'm going to look it up.
So that probably tells me that obviously she's had some physical injury, right? Although it could very well be stress as well. Panic and stress, people get nosebleeds. Right? So yeah, that all fits with the same thing. Is she would have had sleep inertia for the full-on sleep inertia for probably 2 or 3 minutes, where it's like she would not know anything.
He said 11 minutes. Now he's saying 2 or 3 minutes. It was 11 minutes. And then, that was Lee. Sorry.
And it would, her brain would slowly start to clear up. But
I was like, who was that said 11?
20, 30 minutes before her brain was completely fog-free. Right. And so I don't know what the timeline was from when she woke up until she hit the door.
11 seconds.
When she was at the door.
11 minutes. That does make sense, though. I guess when I wake up in the morning, I'm a little, I don't know. I feel like I wake up and I'm just, there I am. Like my eyes are just like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Unfortunately, like sometimes you want to go back to sleep and you just can't. Okay, I think there's a commercial right here, so I'll fast forward it if there is. I'm going to turn it down.
Get ready for the wildest sight. Guilty about screen telenovela level drama.
Yeah.
Guthrie, who I love, fully commits by
the same premium wireless.
But I do think they took her out the front door. I mean, obviously they tested that DNA that was hers. They were in there for so long. I believe that she was fully awake. What do you think they just chilled out on the couch for 30 minutes? I just don't see that. If it was even more than one person, right? I mean, I think that it would have to be more than one to be able to control her and be able to drive a vehicle, unless this person brought things with him, in that book bag to control her, like zip ties or, rope or something like that. But I don't know. That was just this whole case is just, the more you think about it, the more you start to feel like you're losing your mind.
Pat Byrne joining us, consultant, sleep expert, and author. Have you considered the perp?
Yeah, I thought when I saw the video, because that's the only one we really get to see is a perpetrator. I know, what's he doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning, wandering around the neighborhood? What's we think about his circadian rhythm. What about his own sleep patterns? Is this guy a night owl? Like, what do we know about this guy? Probably not much, but clearly
nothing.
he feels comfortable walking around the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, exactly. And Pat, question: why would he have picked between 2 and 3 a.m. to do this? What is magical about 2 to 3 a.m.?
One of the reasons.
Sorry, I meant to tell you guys this. I was actually kind of wrong. So, but I was right, but I was wrong. So it says, during a heart attack, the heart muscle is damaged due to lack of oxygen. This often leads to a decrease in cardiac output, meaning the heart pumps less blood per beat. So your blood pressure may drop. Instead of I was thinking the opposite. But just to let you know, I looked it up.
Reasons people commit crimes, I think, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is because there aren't a lot of other people around. Everybody else is, or most other people are sleeping. But also, if he has any knowledge at all, he would know that she was probably sleeping, and that he could easily walk around the house and easily go and grab her, right? If because she's probably asleep.
Yeah. Well, another aspect of this, Pat Byrne, is that if he has a family, a girlfriend, a roommate, did they not notice he was gone way into the night in the early morning hours, which should be a tip-off to anyone that has heard about the $1.2+ million reward. Joining us tonight, special guest Pat Byrne of the Byrne Fatigue Consulting Group and author of Inconvenient Sleep, Why Teams Win and Lose on Amazon. Pat, thank you, and please join us again with your insight.
My pleasure.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers, and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock, trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
It boggles my mind that they would return the home back to the family right now. Nobody in the family lives there. There's no reason to turn the house back over yet. They've still got to find who did this.
Dr. Bethany Marshall, let's just proceed with the belief that Nancy Guthrie is still alive. Okay. Who in their right mind could keep an 84-year-old woman imprisoned in a bedroom or an apartment or who knows, a farmhouse, a cellar, a basement? Those are the things that Savannah and her siblings, it's their nightmares. Where is mom? But what type of mentality, what person, what man could do that?
Somebody who's obsessed with her because they see her as a mark. They see her as somebody that they are going to profit off of, and that delights them. That makes her very exciting and captivating to them. And Nancy, a couple of things that you just brought out on this show, the fact that the blood is from the nose droplets potentially, and that it stops on the doorstep makes me so sad, because that means somebody stemmed the bleeding by putting their hand over her face. That's the kind of person who's holding Ms. Guthrie. And the other thing, when I see some guy fiddling with a camera at 5 a.m. in a neighborhood, probably where there are many seniors, it makes me wonder, is there some slim possibility that this was not targeted, that somebody was going from doorstep to doorstep trying to find somebody that they could abduct, kidnap, something like this? It just opens up more questions to me rather than resolving them.
You know, you said something, Bethany, and it made me think just in that moment, and I'm sure you can verbalize this better than me, but whoever's got Mrs. Guthrie, she's not even real to them. They're thinking about potentially Savannah and getting her money. And Mrs. Guthrie is just like a pawn, a thing to them for them to get that money.
However, I'll tell you something, Nancy. She may be a pawn, she may be a thing, but they've been thinking about her for a long, long time. Reminds me of a patient who came in and could not stop talking about his grandma, obsessed about his grandma. And I finally realized he was obsessed with her because he was trying to drain her bank account. So there was a lot of talking about it before I finally realized that he was actually using the therapy to commit a crime. Obviously, I stopped seeing him. So there's somebody in some household out there who has a father, a brother, a son, somebody in their lives who has been talking about Nancy Guthrie for a long, long time. That could be a very important behavioral clue in terms of finding the perpetrator.
What else should people be looking for? Because I believe a case like this could be cracked by a girlfriend, a wife, a sister, a mother, a friend, a neighbor that realizes something is off.
Oh, well, promises of wealth. I'm going to take you on a big trip. I'm going to buy you a new car. Our ship is coming in. Preoccupation with the news, wanting to talk about all the little tidbits that have come out. I don't think that what we should, or family members should be watching for, is somebody who's actually avoiding talking about this, but somebody who is quite captivated by it. Because, you know, when you have a mark, when you're a perpetrator and you're going to benefit financially from something, you want to talk about it all the time. So I think it's going to be.
But if you had a mark, that means that you would probably have done this more than once if you're calling them your mark. And I think that you would shut your mouth and not talk about it. Personally, that's what I think you would do.
In the conversation?
I mean, they're getting away with it this long for a reason. And I don't think it's because they're out there telling everybody, let's talk about Nancy Guthrie. That guy on the camera, I don't know what he looks like underneath that mask, but I can only imagine, you know, and can you just imagine him being like talking about Nancy Guthrie, just some guy? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that, I don't know. Like a lot of people, you know, maybe, I don't know who he is, but it just doesn't seem like a lot of people will be like, let's talk about Nancy Guthrie. Unless you're into true crime, the other person's into true crime, right? Then yes. Then yes.
People are hearing in their households. Think about if you're sitting around the dinner table with your family.
But that would be like Brian Koberger going into class and being like, hey, you know, the Idaho 4 that was killed. Like, you know, he talked about it though, when other people would bring it up. He was all about it. I think that's probably how this person is.
All of a sudden, there's one family member that says, oh, let's talk about the Guthrie case. What do you think about older people living alone? Oh, do you think the ransom's going to be paid? Do you think Nancy's still alive? Excited conversation, not sad, excited conversation. That's what family members, girlfriends, wives, children, whatever, that's what they need to be watching out for.
You know, that's really interesting, Dr. Bethany, because every time I leave the studio, I'm asked, do you think Nancy Guthrie's still alive? And similar questions. And every time the person seems genuinely upset. They're not excited, like, what's the latest? It's not like that at all. They're aghast at what has happened. They all have a mother or a grandmother, many of them that live with them or that are living alone. And this strikes fear in their heart. It's really interesting the way you delineated between being excited and almost giddy about it as opposed to being upset and concerned about it, Bethany.
That is absolutely right. And that goes to the third ransom note, right? Is that in this third ransom note, this person who writes it or sends it does not seem to show any concern about Nancy Guthrie. It's kind of all about himself. So also another thing to listen for in conversations around the table or on a date or whatever is a person talking about how someone could benefit from abducting an older person, or they're talking about Nancy herself and how sad this is, and is she still alive, and how is the family doing? If there is empathy in the conversation, that's not a perpetrator. If there's lack of empathy, then that is a possible suspect.
Crime scene investigation is both an art and a science. I have been critical of the sheriff in this case from day one. This sheriff is not a trained public information officer. He's not familiar with media relations, and he just shouldn't be spouting out and blaming the media for overreacting and so forth.
Nancy Guthrie still missing. The reward now up to over $1.2 million. Straight out to Crime Stories investigative reporter Dave Mack. Dave, what's the latest?
Nancy, as we hit the 1 month mark in the investigation, for the very first time since any of this began, we saw Savannah Guthrie in public. Savannah Guthrie, along with her sister Annie and Annie's husband Tommaso, the three of them appeared at Nancy Guthrie's home. And in the front part of her home, on the edge of the property, there is a makeshift memorial. It's got yellow flowers and yellow ribbons, all types of things like that. And Annie and Savannah walked arm in arm with Tommaso, and they actually set a note down at this makeshift memorial. Then later in the day, Savannah issued another Instagram, and again, talking really about her mother and directly to her mother. And I'm wondering what that means, if it means anything. It seems like her notes previously have had a certain meaning to them, addressing certain aspects of the kidnapping. I don't know if these have that same attachment, but Savannah Guthrie seen for the first time since this began. With regard to the notes, we've got the family note at the makeshift memorial and Savannah Guthrie and her Instagram note. Based on what you're seeing in these, does it seem like the FBI is involved in writing these notes? And is there a direction, or are these just straight up family related?
You know, Dave, I think they're straight up family related at this point. You could tell by some of the verbiage within them. The note that was left out at the curb by the family. My understanding is, very personal to mom. It's a one-on-one conversation with her, and they're expressing their love to her. Whereas when you see, Savannah's Instagram, she starts off right away with thanking all of the neighbors. That tells us, they're still hoping that information will be flowing from the public. And what's interesting is she has compressed that, to her neighborhood. Please, if you see or have seen something, please let us know. And I thought that was a really interesting way to start that Instagram.
Savannah Guthrie took to Instagram and posted a clip from the Today Show in a segment about her mom, and writes, "Please be the one that brings her home." And she also added, tips can be anonymous and the reward can be paid in cash. I don't think that's been said before, but we all know that tips can be anonymous if you want, but the reward can be paid in cash. She coupled that with releasing a shortened version of what the family released the other day. But Savannah Guthrie reminding everyone that tips are anonymous and the reward can be paid in cash.
To Dr. Bethany Marshall joining us, psychoanalyst out of the LA jurisdiction, author of Deal Breaker. You can see her on Peacock and find her at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany, I know that this is a step forward, but sometimes it must feel for the family that it's one step forward, two steps back.
You know, Nancy, of course it feels that way to them because what's horrible for the family is the unknown. They have no idea if their mother is dead or alive. They don't know how she's been treated. And Nancy, when we face the unknown, we project into it our worst possible fears. That's how we evolved as a species biologically, is we evolved to be suspicious of the unknown so we could keep ourselves safe. But that's what causes anxiety, right? When we don't know how a situation is going to turn out. So in this case with the mother, they're going to be wondering, like, is she cold? Is she being fed? What about her medications? How has she been treated by the perpetrator? Are they kind to her? Are they cruel to her? Has she passed? If so, under what circumstances? Was there somebody there to hold her hand? I mean,
Might be.
this is
It might be. He's on the show a lot.
agonizing for the family. They need to know. They need all these details so that they can sleep, so that they can think, so that they can move on with their lives. They need their mother back. Whether she's deceased or alive, Nancy, they need to know what's happened to her.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day.
There you see the Guthrie siblings begging for the return of their mother, Nancy Guthrie. The investigation goes on now, extending into Mexico. We learn, hopefully, the Mexican iFamilia database will be used for DNA as well as international databases. Guys, we also are learning about polygraphs that went down into the evening last night. Dave Mack, what about it?
Polly?
Well, as normally a case develops with everybody involved. Now, you've got workers all around the house that are being investigated because they should. Anyone with access to the home has been brought in. And we're talking about people, even including the pool workers that came by the other day to clean the pool. Nancy Guthrie doesn't normally have a pool cleaning service. The family called it out to make sure that it was being kept up. But
what do you mean she doesn't have a pool cleaning service? You know Nancy Guthrie is not out there with the big long pole and the fish net trying to get the leaves out of the pool at 84. Well, maybe she is, but I doubt it. She probably has a pool person. And I know that they did schedule the pool people to come out, but I think they came out twice.
You know what, Nancy, everybody with access to that home, everybody with access to Nancy Guthrie,
I agree.
probably people at church as well as everywhere else, is being polygraphed to find out everything law enforcement can at this point. And as you mentioned early on, somebody rejecting a polygraph is going to become a huge suspect.
Dave Mack, did you actually say that the church congregants are being polygraphed, or they should be polygraphed?
Should be polygraphed. I misspoke. But everybody should be, Nancy.
Actually, I agree with you. I'm not impugning them or suggesting wrongdoing on their part, but everyone connected to Nancy Guthrie should volunteer for a polygraph. Done. What's the problem? So the reason I'm saying that, Kelly Hyman, is here's the gold standard, Mark Class. When his daughter Polly went missing, she was abducted in a sleepover party of her and her little friends at her mom's home. Well, they came banging on his door and he went, fine, take my fingerprints, do whatever you want, search my place, search my car, search my office. I'll do a poly right now so you can get past me and find my daughter. So I don't see a problem with everybody connected to Nancy Guthrie getting a polygraph. Now, of course, they are not allowed in a criminal trial unless stipulated ahead of time. We all know that. All the legal eagles know that. But I have used polygraphs as an investigative tool in the past.
No stone should go unturned, Nancy, in this case. And so the polygraph should be done as well. And you're right. You bring up a really good point. If there's nothing to hide, if there's, transparency, then it's really important for people to give polygraphs. It's really important for people to give up their DNA, which, the family has given their DNA and been ruled out as a suspect. But going back to the DNA, like, it's really important that this kind of stuff is key to the case. Why the DNA is so important, because it can help substantiate who is there. And DNA can be used in the court of law. Of course, now the DNA that was found 2 weeks later could potentially be challenged, but it's really important to look at what is available. What is available in regards to resources that are out there, whether it's using the FBI database or potentially also looking at genetic databases as well, like something like 23andMe, in which people can opt out of their information, and so that can't be discovered. However, with a court of law, potentially can get a warrant out there to look at that DNA as well.
Our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed, and every long night has been agony since then.
Whoever knows about Nancy Guthrie's whereabouts, that sees that and does not act, must have a heart of stone.
Please be the light in the dark.
This is obviously planned out. This is not your typical crime.
We haven't had any proof of life. We haven't had any follow-up communications about any of the ransom. This could spiral out of control.
You can't rule anything out in this case.
This is the hour of desperation.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help.
Sorry.
Nancy, it's a short list.
We're solving the cold case of the Flint River Killer's daughter. Cheryl McCollum, you have analyzed very carefully the ransoms and the reward. What do you think?
Nancy, it's a short list of the people in your life that would not turn you in for $1 million. This person knows it. People he went to high school with, neighbors, co-workers, people that sit.
I'm turning my own mother. I'm just I'm just kidding.
Next to him at church, they will turn you in for $1 million. And that phone has been ringing. And what we saw yesterday with the group surveying the grounds of that crime scene tells me this thing is red hot.
Dr. Bethany, $1.2 million plus reward. How do we break the bands of loyalty and get a co-conspirator, a family member, a neighbor, a girlfriend, a wife, an ex to come forward and forget their misplaced feelings of loyalty?
Nancy, there is terrible chatter online that the Guthrie family was cheap and therefore they waited 4 or 5 weeks to offer a large reward. This is not true. There's a very specific psychology to offering rewards. If they had offered that reward in the beginning, the perpetrator might have panicked and killed Nancy Guthrie. What the family did at first was they appealed to morality. Savannah Guthrie was saying things like, we believe in the goodness of human nature. Well, that did not work, Nancy. So now with this $1.2 million reward, that does break the bonds of loyalty because that is big money. That's lifetime money. So a sister, a girlfriend, somebody he once dated, and that person's no longer with him, a neighbor, they're going to start thinking seriously about the clues. Who disappeared in the middle of the night? Who drives a car like that? Do I have a friend who owns that kind of a jacket or a backpack? It's a little like when the Powerball or the lottery keeps climbing and climbing. Somebody who might not have bought a lottery ticket, they're going to stop into their local 7-Eleven and buy one, Nancy, because now they're not internally motivated. We go back to people around the perpetrator. The internal motivation didn't work. The appealing to morality. So now there's extrinsic motivation, which is profit and greed.
Sunday, there's drama, and then there's full glow and reviver. Melissa,
the pipe bursts at midnight.
Back out to Mary Coleman joining us, news evening anchor, Channel 13, KOLD. Everyone knows KOLD in that region, but now across the nation, everyone knows KOLD because they came forward with ransom notes. So Mary Coleman, in this last plea from Savannah, our friend Savannah Guthrie, already nearly 2,000 tips have come in, additional tips, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they haven't stopped. And that was the goal with putting out the $1 million reward, is to have more people coming in and hopefully giving something of substance. Unfortunately, a lot of those tips have not been substantial, as we've talked about, but the hope is that even just something small can turn this into bringing Nancy home.
Joining us now, Heather Barnhart, digital forensics expert with Celebrite. You heard all about that during the Alex Murdaugh trial, Crack the Case Wide Open, and the SANS Institute. system admin, audit, network, and security. She worked on the Brian Koberger case. She is the co-author of Practical Mobile Forensics, now in its 4th edition. Wow. Heather, thank you for being with us. Heather, I want to talk to you about the so-called ransom notes. Heather, is there anything about these ransom notes that would suggest that they were AI generated? And what are your thoughts about tracking that?
One thing I want investigators to think about in this case are those ransom letters. And I remember reading and hearing on TMZ that one of them seemed to be written by a professional. Why was that one different? If AI was used to help write a ransom note, which is likely. So think about the Google searches that came out that so many IP addresses had searched for Nancy Guthrie. Who would know her name? Who would know where she lived prior to the kidnapping? Can you find keywords in OpenAI that's available to the public that can be searched for anything that was written specifically in those ransom notes? And if the answer is yes, this could tie back to a location and to a person in their home who potentially was behind that keyboard typing those unique words.
Wow. I hadn't thought of that. Heather, that's pretty amazing. What about if a VPN was being used?
If the person wasn't using some type of VPN and private browsing and all the things that mask you from where you're existing when you're typing things, then yes, we can find them. But keep in mind, Brian Koberger tried to do this and we still found him. So there is always going to be a misstep that digital evidence will lead back to the person. But if they didn't do this and you just open a browser and you start Googling things, absolutely, that can be used the exact same way that OpenAI can be used. And I don't want the public to think, oh no, I use ChatGPT or I use Claude or I use something else. If you log in, your data is more protected than if you just start typing. For the Palisades fire, that's how law enforcement found people of interest or suspect of interest, was things that they were typing into AI that just existed out there in the world.
Oh,
Heather, I want to circle back.
Oh, well, maybe I need maybe I need to check my browsing history. Y'all I look up some crazy stuff on this channel, you know. I don't mean to, but it's just what we got to do.
Back to the
At least it's all on one computer, you know. I could just hand the cops this one computer, the FBI, if they show up at my door, like, you know, what have you been Googling? And then I'm blaming all of you guys.
Video that has just surfaced about the video of the vehicles flying by at the same time Nancy Guthrie's kidnapped in her neighborhood. What do you make of that?
Video forensic experts will be able to slow down those vehicles to the point of us being able to identify make and model. They should also be able to detect speeds. So if you think you're involved in a crime, you're probably driving pretty quickly. And this is exactly what happened with Brian Koberger. He tore out of that neighborhood in that vehicle. That car was the second most important identifier to the DNA to getting access to Brian Koberger and leading to an arrest. So this could be what investigators need all along to identify who is involved in this crime.
So Heather, what about the fact that to the naked eye, to us, the video looks blurry?
Oh my goodness. In my terrorism investigations, we were able to identify things that you can enhance this footage. Think about what AI can do for us in forensics. This is a perfect example of using AI to clean up an image, remove the blur, slow it down, and have vehicle experts say, I know that this is likely this make and model, probably of this year. And then you go into the records and see who in that area owns vehicles that match that description. And it will really pare down the amount of people that need to be questioned at this time.
If you know or think you know anything about the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, please dial toll-free 800-225-5324. That's 800-CALL-FBI. Or if you wish to remain anonymous, 520-882-7463.
Oh, she's going
to repeat it. 520-882-7463.
She'll say, good night, friends. Okay, let me get me back up here. And Miss Nancy off there. Oh, look, Nancy's behind me. I'm surprised she didn't scare me. That would have been funny. That would have been funny if she would have scared me. You guys can't see it on the vertical, but she's right here. She's over here. I don't know if I can reach it. I should have just had her sitting here, like, and me not here. Just like Nancy. There we go. Like she was just chilling right here. Like when I would like come on the live, I could do that one day. And then I could be like under here somehow because I have to get to the microphone. But yeah. They should have made her hands look a little nicer. Nancy, I'd be mad about the hands. I'd be mad about the hands, girl. I'd be like, and why are you wearing these? Look at her shoes. These shoes look like the shoes that you get out of that. What's the magazine that everyone used to get their work shoes out of if you worked at a restaurant? Oh, what were they called? Cruise shoes for cruise or something. Shoes for cruise. Was shoes for cruise? Did I get it right? You tell me that these don't look like them. They're shiny and everything. She just needs a personal stylist. She needs me. That's what I was meant to do. I was meant to be her personal stylist. Shoes for cruise. I think that's what it was. I wonder if Shoes for Cruise is still around. Because you could pay it with your paycheck. You could pay like 20%. Look, they still got them. Right here. Oh my God, look. Oh, where'd they go? I need the slip on. I need the style, the clog. It's kind of like this one, but this one doesn't have a back. Her shoe kind of like looks like this one, but it doesn't have like the buckle. And it has a back to it. Shoes for cruise. I forgot they had that. I can't believe I remembered that. That was years ago. I mean, it's probably been 20 years. Longer than that. I was 16. Don't do the math. But I was 16 when I did Shoes for Cruise. I remember because my mom was like, you're going to get a new job and just like, you could do that and they'll take like a little out of your paycheck. And then you could get your shoes fast because you couldn't work until you had slip resistant shoes in a restaurant. Pittsburgh Sheriff in this county. Let me stop facing. Hold on. Maybe I did. Did you see the kid that's 11 shot his mom's boyfriend because he was abusing his mom? I don't think they're going to arrest him for it. I hope they don't. Although, there shouldn't have been a gun and to where he could get it, right? But he did save his mom, I don't know. But he was only 11. Yeah. And then that one kid, he actually murdered someone. He was going to court. He's 12. I that's just so insane. That's insanity to me. 12 years old. Like, what the heck? These kids got to get out of these small towns. That's usually what it is. It's usually, I swear it is. Like, I feel like it is anyway. I mean, they do it in big cities too, but I feel like the small towns are just getting infested with, like, they're getting younger and younger. Like, they're doing bad things when they're 12 instead of like, people would wait a little while, at least you're an adult, before you have to commit a crime. Right? Yeah, he did the right thing to save his mom. I guess he shot him in the head too. I mean, it's a good shot. I mean, if you ask me. Yeah. He's already traumatized enough. He's 11. Yeah, and he was just protecting his mama. Like that. I mean, if somebody was doing that to my mom, not a question. It's not wouldn't even be a question. Wouldn't even be no. Already done. Like, don't mess with my mama. Let me see if there's anything on X. I haven't really been on X too much. I got on there earlier today and I was like, oh, Nancy Guthrie's still trending because I haven't been on there in the last few days. But for some reason, Nerdy Addict and Chris Roach Investigates how are going back and forth on Twitter. And I don't follow that many people. So my whole Twitter feed is just that. I'm like, okay, guys, stop fighting. Oh, I was looking at, what did I see on Roses? I think it was something I was going to go over. It was an Ohio case, but then I didn't go over it. Oh, no. So did you guys hear? So Suzanne Morphy's daughters waited. They left her body in the morgue for 2 years, her remains. They were told to collect them before they went and collected them. They weren't like, oh, we're going to go get them. You know, it's been 2 years. They were like, come get your mom. What is up with these? Is it because like they don't want to believe that their father could have killed their mom to the point where they're like just so blinded that they hate their mother now or something? Because you leave her there for 2 years. She's already been out in the freaking field for what, 5? And then you put her in a box. I mean, it's just I couldn't even imagine. Now, I couldn't go get my mom after she died. I couldn't. I just couldn't be the one to do it. My brother, he went and he did all that. Like I was there for the, before she passed. He was there too, but I was there a little bit longer, like a lot longer than him. And so it was kind of like we passed each other, you know what I mean? Like pass things off to each other to help each other out. But we got her right when she was ready. But then it took me a little while before I did this celebration of life, but that's only because that was my mental part. Like, I had to grieve first, but like, they just don't give a shit. Something's so wrong. I saw that today and I was like, are you like, Suzanne was a beautiful person, right? I don't know what freaking Barry is telling his daughters, but he's telling them something. These girls are smart girls. They're not dumb. I just don't understand. I saw that today and I was just like, what? Oh, this is what I was going to go over with you guys. We might go over this tomorrow. So did you guys hear about the case of Rachel and Kyle Long in Ohio? I saw this the other day on one of like Law and Crime or something, but Rose wrote it out nice. She says, man in Ohio charged with murder and wife's death after he tried to convince everyone it was a suicide. The familiar, kind of like the Flynn case in a way. Kyle Long, 35, called 911 on October 23rd, 2025 to report a suicide. He told dispatchers that his wife stabbed herself several times. When first responders arrived, Rachel Long, 32, was pronounced dead at the scene, and her death was being investigated as suspicious. Kyle Long told investigators that his wife wanted a separation from marriage. Why would you ever tell the cops that? I would go to my grave with that. They're looking at you, son. An autopsy found that Rachel's injuries were defensive type wounds. Court documents show that Rachel Long never mentioned being suicidal to a friend. Or no, that she never mentioned it to a friend. She last messaged before her death. Kyle is being held on $1.5 million bond. And Rachel was a well-known local business owner and mother. She was planning a fresh start as a single mom. He could not even just let her have that. This is femicide. I'll show you a picture. It's so sad. And this is Madison, Ohio. I'm not sure how far that is from me. I just saw I saw it the other day and I was like, oh, are you going to do another case in Ohio? And then I was like, no, I won't. And then I started reading it. I was like, that's actually a pretty interesting case. It's 210 miles from me. Ohio is a pretty big state if you think about it. It's like another Ellen Greenberg tied in with like a Flynn. You know, like a Caleb Flynn. Like I didn't do it. I was here, but I didn't do it. We have kids and I was with them. I don't know if that's what he said, but that's what she was saying, or that's what Caleb was saying. But yeah, I mean, I went to school with a Kyle Long, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I went to school with a Brett Long too. I can't believe I actually remember that kid. And then I do want to go over like some more updates too. Oh, Laura, we got people be crazy in Ohio. We're crazy over here, I guess. We have a lot of crime. More than I thought. I'm like, geez. There's so many of them. I don't know. I think we're all in the algorithm of Ohio right now. Like all the channels or something, like even the big channels, because like they're going on doing like Ohio cases too. And I think it's because we all like did the Tepe case and then the Flynn case, and now Ohio's in the algorithm. Crime rate's got record. Yeah, I know, right? Pennsylvania cases wouldn't be bad to cover either, because I could always go to Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from, and I would love to go back. That would be. I want to take Vincent there. Someday he has to go and enjoy the food there. Like, I think he would like that. Also, I asked Vincent if he would do a TikTok with me for our anniversary. And he said, I'd rather go on a live. And I said, you shouldn't have said that. So I didn't get my TikTok transition. So I'm waiting on him to come live. I think he might do a pre-recorded video with me. But we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it over like snacks or something cute. Because I thought it'd be cute to do like Japanese snacks or something that he would like that I would not probably like. That would be funny for everybody because I don't like any foods that are not, something a kid would eat. So that's me. But I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a video. It might be on the other channel, but I'll probably put it on this channel too. Yeah, he said he would. He's like, I'd rather do a live. So then yesterday I was like, so remember you said you do that live? And he was like, no. He's like, no. And I was like, you're doing a pre-recorded video then. I was like, at least something with me. And he was like, he'll do it. Gwen, how are you doing? Thank you for becoming a member. Where you been? It's good to see ya. It's really good to see ya. Yeah. Caleb Austin, yep. There's a lot of people in Tennessee too, yeah. I said that, I was like, people will want to see you, Vincent. You're an awesome person. He's just very quiet and very shy, Very, very shy. And thank you so much for becoming a member again, Gwen. Oh, you're starting to have a headache. Oh, is there anything easy you can grab, Casey, so you don't have to cook anything? I hate cooking. I haven't cooked in so long. I haven't cooked in forever. I'm like, I haven't cooked in forever. It's been a long time, but Vincent does all the cooking. I had to put that down the other day, like on my paperwork. It was like, who does the cooking? And I was like, surely not me. Surely not me. I did get my little thermometer thing so I could test the meat to make sure it's done, but I haven't used it yet. And I got it like a year ago. Tearing up his landlord's house with a backhoe tractor. Popcorn chicken and waffle fries. Oh, popcorn chicken and waffle fries. I was thinking popcorn chicken and waffle fries. I don't know. I was thinking it like that. That would be good though. I mean, I like popcorn. Yeah, I knew that you meant you. I do talk to text in all the chats I'm in. So if you ever see me in a chat and I'm talking away and I sound like a person that is so just, I don't sound like myself. I'm like not speaking English. I'm speaking talk to text and I don't look. I don't look before I hit send. It's so funny. But I think that's all I have for you guys. Let me see. I think that's all I have. Tomorrow's Sunday. I hope you guys all have a good Sunday. It's going to be it's supposed to be a nice day. Let's go check. Let's just go check again because it's been crazy. Is everybody okay out there that got like tornadoes hit their way? I hope Jessica's okay. She's usually in the chat. She's been in the chat like every day for the last like week or so. And I thought of her today because we talk about Ohio and Michigan, and I was like, oh, Michigan got hit really hard. I didn't realize it neither until I sat down at the computer over here. I was on my other computer, but it didn't pop up. It's going to be sunny tomorrow, 59, but it's going to be sunny. There's no rain. There's no rain, not until Wednesday. Thursday, it says it's going to snow. It better just not. How about no? If I see any more snow, I'll cry. Me too, Casey. I probably sound drunk half the time. I'm just like, because I get so into it, and then I get behind in the chat. Oh, I'm always behind, and then I message a bunch of messages, and then I'm like, oh, I'm really behind, and then I get embarrassed. Well, actually, I don't get embarrassed. I used to, not anymore. They were bad, I guess, in Michigan. It got tore like tornadoes. We had tornadoes here like 6 years ago. I I would never, I slept through it. So thank goodness, because if I actually experienced it, I mean, other than the aftermath, I mean, I experienced all of that, but, I don't know. I'd be even more scared of weather. I'm already scared of the weather. I watch those, like those planet type of like, videos that are like, they talk about other planets and how it'd be like to live on other planets. And I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Why did I do that to myself? Well, Ashley, that's almost boating weather. 80s down there. That is boating weather. Well, I'm gonna jump off of here. I'm gonna get the dogs to bed. They switched beds again. They did, and this one's sleeping with the blanket and the pillow. I put it back on there tonight, and then she took it back off. So you know, she just does what she wants. She's sleeping on that blanket. That blanket is really nice. She's not waking up. My house and cars was hit 2 years ago by the February 27th tornado. Was that the same one? Oh, 2 years ago. No, mine was. I can't remember when ours happened. Maybe May. Make sure to end. I will make sure to end it tonight. Yeah, I'll make sure if Vincent calls, I'll just end it, and not hit the silent button. But yeah, unless anybody, I told Vince, I said maybe I'll just stream the room at night, and people could just come in and hang out. I could just leave Nancy in here all night. People would come in freaking out thinking that Nancy was there, but they're like, she's not talking. Oh, that would be good. I might have to do that. Okay. Well, thank you guys for talking to me tonight at the end of the live. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow. There is some stuff with the Tepe case I want to talk about with Michael McKee. He does go to court on April 16th, and I am so ready to go. They better not postpone it or do anything like that. Kayla Flynn, March 26th for him. So ready for that one too. I'm ready to go. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll remember to shut down the stream tonight. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out just like the sunrise. We gonna let it out now. Just like a spark that's breaking out, can't make a stop.